We believe in transparency. We believe in accountability. We believe in due process. That's the opposite of what is happening on the floor today.
Listen to this one. I mean, this one is just like, how do you make this stuff up from the Daily Wire here? Democrat Virgin Islands delegate Stacey Plaskett claimed on Tuesday that she was texting convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein during a 2019 hearing because he was a constituent and not at the time under federal investigation. It was recently revealed that Plaskett was texting Epstein in real time during a congressional hearing with former Trump attorney turned adversary Michael Cohen. Epstein was texting Plaskett information to seemingly go after Donald Trump. During the hearing, Epstein told Plaskett to question Cohen about the president's former executive assistant. Plaskett notably frets over not understanding the person's name and tells Epstein that she's up next. Minutes after Plaskett brings up the assistant's name, as she was told, Epstein texts Plaskett, "Good work." So we'll have more on her in just a second, and was he a constituent of Plaskett? Apparently. But how many other constituents was she texting with and getting information as to the questions she should ask Donald Trump's lawyer in a congressional hearing? So they've opened this thing up and it's like, what the high hell's going on here? Here's Plaskett saying she did get the text. It's all true, but she didn't know he was under a federal investigation, which is still a moot point. Why were you taking questions from a random constituent during a congressional hearing?
And I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein, who at the time was my constituent, who was not public knowledge at that time that he was under federal investigation, and who was sharing information with me.
Have I said give the devil his due this week? I will give the devil his due. I will accept that you didn't know anything about a federal investigation or anything else. But how was he in your circle so tightly that you felt you should take questions, that he should be basically writing your questions that you are asking of Donald Trump's lawyer? So congratulations, everybody. As I said yesterday, something is rotten in Stinktown, and I think we're going to find out what it is. Of course, the other thing that's going to happen here, and we all know this, is as more of this comes out and is connected to the Democrats, the double standard thing is just going to go through the absolute roof. So here is Jamie Raskin. It's a side by side. Here's Jamie Raskin talking about Trump and Epstein versus talking about Plaskett and Epstein.
One thing he's clearly doing is changing the subject from a different form of crime, which is child sex trafficking, which Jeffrey Epstein was a mastermind of. Donald Trump's name apparently appears throughout the Epstein file.
They've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing. I still don't see what the charge is. Where is the ethical transgression?
You know what? I'm not going to curse today. Congressman, let me try to explain something to you. First off, the Trump part, obviously, anything that Trump is involved in, obviously, that's the worst of all. Trump's name was in it many times. We also know that 21 years ago, he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and that Epstein didn't even like him. Okay, let's put that aside for just a second. What's the charge against her? The charge, I don't know if it's a legal charge. I actually don't know. But if at a congressional hearing, somebody, whether she knew it or not, who's been up to some nefarious stuff, what other, let's put it this way, what other congressperson has their phone readily available to them during a congressional hearing so that they can get tipped off on questions? Does that sound right to you? So come on. All right, if you follow politics, you know everyone's got an opinion. Your group chats the pundits, and yes, even me. But on Polymarket, you get something better. Well, maybe not than me, but it's still pretty good. Real odds on what's actually likely to happen. Polymarket is a prediction market where people trade on real events, elections, debates, policy moves, and more. And it doesn't stop at politics. You'll find markets on the economy, tech, sports, pop culture, and even random internet moments that blow up for a week. It's live, transparent, and gives you a legit vibe check on what people really think. You've definitely heard about Polymarket before, so take a second and check it out. Head on over to polymarket.com right now. Here's Timo Obama saying we shouldn't jump to conclusions about the lady who was taking the questions from Epstein during the congressional hearing.
We believe in transparency. We believe in accountability. We believe in due process. That's the opposite of what is happening on the floor today. And let me be very clear about Stacey Plaskett. She's a woman of great intelligence and a woman of great integrity. And she deserves better than what she's receiving from House Republican extremists.
House Republican. That man is a robot. I am telling you, he is a humanoid robot. There's just no doubt in my mind it eventually will break down on the floor. It will, the whole scandal. That's the real scandal. You want to find out about a scandal, is that he is a humanoid robot. That aside, she is a great, a woman of great intelligence and integrity. Neither one of those are true, but again, why was she, if she's so intelligent, then why did she need a random, quote unquote, random constituent to be texting her the questions to ask the lawyer of Trump, right? And if she has so much integrity, why didn't she come out and say, boy, you know, I do that sort of thing? That would be if you're intelligent, you wouldn't need a hint on the questions. And if you had integrity, you would tell people about the shady shit you're doing.